Happy Diwali if you're celebrating this weekend. Welcome to Thank God for Story Saturday video series has been going on for 4 years and we have received a lot of love. A heartfelt thank you for that. But we've also received one feedback consistently, which is that I do a lot of stories of the American and European leaders, rarely do a story of an Indian leader. Because it's Diwali, I thought I will do a story of an Indian leader. This one is for India. So the story is about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was India's 11th president. Now the story goes back to the year 1979 when Dr. Kalam was the mission director or the project director for SLV-3 satellite launch vehicle. He says for 10 years, he and thousands of people had worked really hard on this launch day. The launch day came, he goes to the launch pad, the countdown is happening, T minus 3 minutes, T minus 1 minute, T minus 40 seconds, and then the computer says, don't launch. He says, I look towards 6 experts. They look at the data on the screen and they say that there is a problem. There is a leakage in the control system, but we have enough fuel, we have enough oxidizer. Let's just go ahead. He says, now I take into consideration the expert's point of view, but the decision is mine. It is my responsibility. I am the mission director. He says, I bypass the computer and I give a go-ahead. It's a 4-stage launch. First stage is fine. Second stage, things go wrong. And instead of the satellite being in the orbit, it's in the Bay of Bengal. And after that, Mr. Satish Dhawan, who is the chairman of Indian Space Research Organization, comes up to him and says, let's go for a press conference. There's world media there. And he says, I am so frightened. This is my first failure. I'm going to be the culprit. He says, Mr. Dhawan goes there, sits down there and says, we failed today, but I truly believe we have a fantastic team of technologists, scientists, and we will be successful. He says the media criticized him and said that, you have put crores in the Bay of Bengal, and he fronted all the criticism. And he says, I believe in my team. He consistently said that. A year later, in July 1980, the mission was successful. And this time, Mr. Dhawan says to Mr. Kalam that you go and do the press conference. What is the point of the story? The point of the story is very simply, a great leader fronts the criticism. When it comes to the time of credit, he or she is absolutely fine with the team taking the credit. Stay storied, happy Diwali again, and I will see you here next Saturday with another story.